Good morning, everyone. My name is David Sisk. I'm the director of the EL programs for Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools. And in this short video, I'm going to go over a document that you're going to receive this morning that will help you navigate selecting courses for your EL students. To begin with, number one, it's very important to connect with your ESL teacher or your EL coordinator at your school. These people will have more insight into your EL students. Perhaps they've worked with them recently. They will have insights into the linguistic needs of these students and what may be a good schedule for that student going forward. So I just want to reiterate that it's really important that you connect with your ESL teacher or your EL coordinator at your school. Number two, this table really gives you a brief overview of the three possible scenarios that you may have with a newcomer EL student. A newcomer EL student is an EL student who has little to no English proficiency. So in this first row, this would be a child with little to no literacy in their first language, and also very limited content knowledge in their first language. That child will struggle both with acquiring English and the content skills on grade level. So this child needs to be in as many ESL courses, sections as you can register them, and they must be in a sheltered classroom because that child is both acquiring English and needs to build a foundation with that content knowledge. The second row, these are the students, newcomer students again, who have some literacy in their first language. They can read in their first language. They do have some content knowledge. They were a C student in their first language in those content areas. So that child will acquire English more than likely faster than a child who has little content knowledge, but they still need ESL on a daily basis, so both A day and B day. And the third option here are students whose literacy in their first language is quite high. They read at or above grade level in their first language, and they did exceptionally well. Their grades were really good in their first language. So, again, these students will acquire English um, typically much faster because they're not having to acquire both a new language and content simultaneously because they already have a good foundation in content. It's just in their first language, but they still need ESL daily, but they may be advanced to higher ESL classes as the year progresses. So if you look at the next chart here, ESL classes may be offered as an ESL 1, ESL 2, ESL 3 on the elective or the encore schedule. And just to give you a very basic idea of scheduling, look at the reading access level of that EL student. So a child that has a reading access level of a 1 or 2 would be in an ESL 1 class, a 2 or 3 would be in an ESL 2, a 3 or 4 on the access reading subtest would be in ESL 3. That's basic general guidance. I've dropped this link in right here in the document you will receive. If you want much more detailed information about the ESL class structure and the scores of our EL students and the access and the WIDA screener and how those connect with ESL courses, please click on this link to take a look at our language instruction educational plan, which we are required by the state to have. So just some really quick notes down here at the bottom of the screen. Always consider sheltered courses, sheltered classes for your EL students. Sheltered courses are rigorous courses. They're not watered down courses. However, we do and provide a lot of support and scaffolding in a sheltered course that can be very beneficial to your EL students. There's also an emphasis not only on a content focus, but a language focus in your sheltered classes. Many of our EL students are Spanish speakers, so always consider a Heritage Spanish for Native Speakers course for those students. Please make sure that your EL students are native Spanish speakers. when they're being enrolled in this course. That should go without saying, but we have had some students in the past, EL students, enrolled in Heritage for Spanish for Native Speakers courses when in fact they do not speak Spanish. So, but if you have a native Spanish speaker, those are excellent, excellent courses. And the last thing highlighted down here at the bottom, opportunities for enrollment in advanced courses. Um, we really want to try to encourage some of our less represented students who haven't been historically enrolled in great numbers into your AP, IB, or perhaps AG classes. So for those more advanced EL students, please do consider suggesting or enrolling these students into those advanced courses. You can still implement those courses with sheltered methodology. And some considerations for navigating which EL students may be good candidates to register into these courses. The first bullet, consult with the ESL teachers. If you haven't heard me say this enough, I sound like a broken record. Consult with ESL teachers. Take a look at the access and the WIDA screener results. Ask yourself, how rapidly has this child acquired English? And then the last bullet, although an EL student may not be proficient in content assessments, look at the value added measures of the content assessments, EVAS, for example, to determine if the child has demonstrated content assessment growth. So these are a couple ideas, a couple of additional data points that you could look at to help you navigate and work with EL students who may be good candidates to be enrolled in those advanced courses. So thank you for your time. Again, my name is David Sisk. I'm the director of the EL programs, and I hope you guys have a good day. Okay, goodbye.